Well, just like Donald Trump, also his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who's also very much standing his ground and defending these policies, saying these laws are necessary because the main reason is both of these leaders are keen on a cut down on immigration, illegal immigration as well as legal immigration. Essentially, it is a promise to their constituents, and it would also mean taking a step back and making concessions at a sensitive time, right before midterm elections. It's just around the corner in about 5 months that now we are seeing many Democrats are visiting these facilities around the country and shedding light on this humanitarian situation that for many people, even among some of the Republicans, many of them argue that this situation needs to be changed. But if you ask the Attorney General, who came up with this zero tolerance policy and has been implementing it since May, he will tell you that all along the United States had been giving a bad message to those migrants wanting to come to the States, because until recently many of them were being saved from being prosecuted if they came with children. And Sessions said that this would essentially give them some kind of immunity, and it would even incentivize their immigration into the United States. And he said this could no longer be the case. And just as we've heard from President Trump himself, he doesn't want his country to become what he calls a camp for immigrants. So essentially, I think there is a situation where there's a lot of bipartisan support towards addressing the problem of child separation, but we're not necessarily hearing about how that is going to take place. From the Republican side and from the president, we're still hearing so much more about how these laws are necessary to keep immigration under control.
It seems almost contradictory, Donald Trump saying that the US won't become a migrant camp, and at the same time we see these images of children in detention. What does it take to change this current policy, do you think?
Well, it is an ongoing debate. This is not something just started with the child separation. Immigration is a very complex debate that has been going on even before Trump, but obviously gained a lot of momentum with Trump taking office and, bringing new ideas like completely scrapping off the Dreamers program, also known as DACA, those younger children who were brought initially as illegal children that were then granted temporary status here. Republican Party and Trump would still like to see that program scratched. Also, they would like to see a border wall being built by the Mexican border. So a lot of the issues that are discussed today covers all of these subjects as well. Now, even though we do have a legislation that has been backed largely by Democrats, trying to tackle just the issue of child separation alone, we have not heard so much support, public support rather, from the Republicans so far. The debate that is starting today, gaining more momentum today at the House, is essentially not going to be just on child separation, but many of those other issues as well. And the legislation that is put forward by the Republicans are including many of those other subjects. And that's why it makes it very hard for these two parties to come together and find some common ground.